Hey, welcome to Bluejay Banter. We're sponsored by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. West Pacific Dental Group, dentist, my dentist, Dr. Robert Hogan, and Infusion Brewery. And tonight we have a special treat. Ron Beberk of Infusion Brewery is going to join us a little later on. Big Jason, we're going to talk some Jays with him and also talk a little bit about Infusion Brewery, talk about those pink out cans they had and all of that and everything that's going on in Infusion. So we're really happy to have him on. And then in just a couple minutes, Ben Schultzberg, freshman guard for the Creighton Blue Jays, will join us. He just got off practice, so he'd be a little bit late. Also joining us tonight, our fine producer, Zach Weaver. Why can't I say producer, Zach? I don't get that. And then in a few minutes here, Ross Ferrarini will join as well. He was apparently stuck in the same traffic as I was. If you're in Omaha right now, don't go anywhere. Seriously, just don't go. The interstates are a problem both ways, east and west. You can't get out of Bellevue right now. They pretty much shut down the entire 75 going north from Bellevue into Omaha. So it's a mess out there. I don't know why, but it's a mess out there. It was a nice day. It didn't rain or snow or anything. It was a nice day. Roads are all clear, but we apparently have that spot at 84th on I-80 that I don't know. It's wide open. I don't understand how anybody gets in an accident, but they do right there. So let's set up the schedule. So as I mentioned, our guests will be on today, and then Wednesday we'll have an instant reaction right after the Seton Hall game, immediately following that game. That's 5:30 tip, right, Zach?
Let me get that for you real quick.
I think it is a 5:30 tip, and then we'll be on instant reaction probably about 7:30ish.
Yes,
Quarter to
It
eight,
is a 5:30 tip.
right after the game. Just a couple minutes. Just come right on here, jump in. We had great participation the last time, so hopefully we'll again this time as well. We'd like to hear your thoughts and so forth. And then next Saturday is the big game. Already sold out. Big game against UConn, 1 o'clock tip. And that's on Big Fox, right? I believe so. So,
Yes.
so everybody's going to get pumped up for that game. I'm just going to throw this out here right now. We're a little bit up in the air on the instant reaction show for that day. So just keep that in mind. We'll let you know more on Wednesday. At any rate, Jay's got the polls today, number 23. So back up with a 15-8 record, I would guess they're probably one of the worst records of teams that were ranked. I would guess. People just want to get those Jays in, I guess, for whatever
I don't
reason.
have a problem
And
with
of
it.
course, after my horrifically bad weekend on other college basketball games, of course, tonight, when I'm just sitting here watching the game, of course, Miami's up 13-3. That is pretty much the way it goes, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
And joining us now is the one, the only Godfather, Ross Ferrarini. Hi, Ross.
Hey, some crazy traffic on the way home today. Sorry.
It's nuts out there, Ross. And the interstate is backed up. God, I don't know how far west, eastbound. There's an accident on 84th. The traffic was slow coming the other way, and then out of Bellevue northbound, the interstate shut down. They're not even letting cars on. They're
Yeah, it was really bad.
they're diverting them over to Fort Crook Road. I don't know where they're sending them. Probably over to like 24th and up or some 13th and up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was bad. Sorry.
Crazy. Oh, I made it in record time going down Cornhusker and then down 72nd back to my house. I've never gone that fast on 72nd in my life at this time of day. I hit every stinking light. It was just total luck.
Where were you coming from?
Well, I was coming from Bellevue I'd pick up my granddaughter, so it's coming from that way.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
So we were just kind of recapping the game, but you know what? We're not going to have time to do any of that right now because you look wonderful tonight, Ross, by the way, so don't worry.
My hair is tough.
We are joined by the one and only Mr. Ben Schultzberg.
What's up, guys?
Benjamin, what's going on? Oh, look at this. He's still at practice. How cool is
Yeah,
that?
I'm sorry. I was doing some extra stuff. I lost track of time. I apologize.
No. This is cool. This
Can't
is cool.
apologize for putting work in.
Yeah, you're in your domain, buddy. How's it going?
Uh-huh. I'm doing great, guys. I'm doing great. Things are looking up over here. So we're all very happy. Team chemistry is very high. So just looking to move on and get the next win. So
Villanova game. That was tight right down to the end there.
oh yeah, it was. They're a very
Um,
weird team. Like even like having a scout for them, they're like kind of just like robots. It's really weird the way they play. It's so like the opposite of how we play. So it was a fun game, fun different like a fun matchup between like play styles. So it was fun to watch.
Yeah. I was telling some people though the difference is when you were even with Villanova with 3 minutes to go when Jay Wright was there, game over. You're going to lose that game. This team can't just close the deal. You know, they've been close a lot of games. They just can't close it. But you guys did a great job. What was that play like? We're in the huddle. I think there was a timeout, tie game. You got the ball to Trey and he drove. Was that kind of the set play?
Yeah, it was Trey. I think Trey was very hot that game, and I think Mac just wanted to get him an open shot because he was hitting, and ended up hitting it at the end and winning the game for us.
Yeah.
Ben, tell us about how freshman year has progressed. You're now already into February. There's only, I think, 8 conference games left. It's been sort of sporadic. I mean, you've played some minutes. There's other games you haven't gotten in. So how's that been? As an adjustment to somebody who like yourself, who's been playing a lot of minutes, scoring a lot of points for a long time.
I mean, there's kind of like two different parts to it for me. The first one is that like the adjustment was very hard. Like I honestly struggled with it in the beginning.
Sure.
Trying to just accept that, I'm probably not going to play much. And then as the year went along, I took a step back and I had to just kind of just reevaluate what I was doing because, I love the game of basketball so much and I had to figure out how am I going to help the team get ready for the games and how am I going to like get better myself. So ever since I started doing that, I kind of been coming into practice with a different mentality. So ever since then, it's been a lot better mentally. But, every day is a challenge in itself. I take it one day at a time, whatever I can do in the moment to help my guys and to, develop myself. That's what I'm looking to do right now.
Well, I can say this every time we talk to coaches, they say how impressed they are with the way you're working and how you're handling everything because it's not easy being a star and then come into college. It happens to a ton of guys. And
Yeah.
I know they're counting on big things for you. Not only spot action here down this season, but definitely into next year. And
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's huge for your development.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking to the coaches a lot. Right now I'm just trying to just live in the moment, to be honest. Not think about anything else and try to help the team win as many games as they can.
Don't you think it'll help you though, like on road trips to experience the length of the season, all the preparation and all that? So then, like next year, you'll just be boom. It'll be a lot easier for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's this part of like accepting the role and like just finding ways to learn. And one of that has been like just being able to see the coach's point of view of the game and watch how each of the teams, especially in conference play against us because they all play kind of differently. And then, make a good game plan, trust the coaches for next year and try to get wins.
Ben, so you talked about, scout for Villanova and how kind of different they play. So tell us a little bit about, I guess, how scout team has been for some of these other Big East programs and kind of what you've learned about the nuances of the college game and a lot of different styles of play and what that's been like.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I'm on scout now, and to be honest, it's like the best part of my day to play against the starters. So that's like I really look forward to it, and every team's very different. Every player I have to be is very different. Like today,
Mhm.
I had to be Kadari, and I couldn't shoot. Whereas like, a couple weeks ago, I was Primo Spears and had to shoot every time I got it. So
Yeah.
it's very different. It's interesting seeing how different people play and how different uh like teams play. I like sometimes I can like anticipate like how a guy's gonna play based on like the stuff I get. Like
Right.
even that first Seton Hall game, I knew like Kadari wasn't gonna get anything because our defense and having Kalkbrenner, it was so hard for me to like get to the basket because that's what he really does is get to the rim and he's physical. And it was hard for me, and it was hard for him in the game as well. So it's been nice to see like just play against them, see how different players play.
Mhm.
It's helped me learn a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you? So Nova game, I guess they told you to pump fake every time before you shot,
Oh
right?
my God, that was my least favorite scout for sure. Like it's like you get it, you have to pump fake, go right into like a post, pump fake
Yeah.
again, bounce pass, and then do the whole thing all over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible. Having to guard it, like even when I was switched over to the blue team, having to guard it was just sucked because you have to like you basically just get beat down for like 30 seconds straight. But you got to stay mentally tough, and that's what we did in the game, especially at the end when Trey got that steal. So it's been great.
And then when you got to see them up close and personal, you were like, wow, I know what the coaches are saying now. This is
No,
exactly what they do
no,
every
I
play.
no, like I said before, I think they're robots. They have to be. It's like to me, it makes sense why like when Jay Wright was there, like a lot of freshmen didn't play because it's very hard to buy into that. Like there's like virtually no real freedom. Essentially, it's just very different. It was nice to see.
I'd like to, so our listeners can get a little bit of insight into the world of a college basketball player. So tell us a little bit like tomorrow. Like, what time do you leave tomorrow?
Um, but can you guys see me?
Yeah, you're great. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go into my schedule and look at it so I know for the exact times. But basically, um, we have this thing called Delos. Just an ankle rehab type thing that we all do. I'll have
Okay.
that at like 8 a.m. We'll have breakfast, mandatory breakfast for everyone. One class at 9:30, come to practice. And right from practice, you have 30 minutes to get your stuff, and we're on a plane back. We're playing to Jersey.
All right.
We land in
And then,
then we land in Jersey. There's a shoot around if you want. We have dinner, film, and everyone's asleep. That's really
okay.
it's
How do you
honestly
get,
it's a lot tiring than it sounds.
yeah, now game days must be hard, especially not so much the weekend games, the night games. So you're not playing till the night. And you
Yeah, I
got this
know.
whole chunk of day where you can go have a shoot around, sure, but still, it's got to seem like forever until that game's going to start.
No, it does. But we figure it out. Some people, it really depends on the person. Some people take naps. We have a game called Super Smash Bros. That like it's like a fighting game on Nintendo that you can put on the TV, and we'll play that during our spare
You
time.
playing you
Like
playing
sick, like
Ultimate? Super Smash
uh,
Brothers Ultimate?
yeah, I think so. I don't
The
know,
one
just the
on the
regular
one on
one.
Switch?
Yeah, the one on the Switch. Yeah.
Who you play?
I use Violet. You know
Oh,
who
you
that
play
is?
you play Byleth?
Yeah, I think he's so good. Or she.
Yeah.
I think it's a girl.
You can. I think it's
But
either one. You can play as either one. Sorry, not to sidetrack and talk about video
no,
games
no,
this
no,
whole
no,
show, but
no. I know, but what's it called? Like Mason and Trey are both really good. They're like they win every game. It's ridiculous.
no. During COVID, I was hosting tournaments for Super Smash Brothers, like online.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
Yeah. It's so. I never played till on the road trips they play. So naturally I just joined in.
yeah, for sure.
All right.
Are you able to adjust on those like East Coast road trips when you during the week when you come back late at night and then the next morning you got to get up right away? I mean, how is that?
Um, I mean, it's not easy. Obviously, like we get back pretty late, and we have to go to class. Like you don't have an option. Um, so it's tough, but you kind of fall into a routine a little bit. You get used to it a little bit. It's a little easier for me because my like classes all start at like 9:30 out. But I know like Mason has 8 a.m. the next day, and he dreads coming back. He hates it. So, I guess it's just different for the person.
Yeah, right. But how's everything else going? How's school? How's your downtime out of school and so forth? How's everything going?
Well, honestly, the last 3 days have been amazing because of the weather.
Wait
I
a minute
know.
now. When I talked to you last year, you said, "Oh, this below zero, bring it on."
No, 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 no. Oh my God. It was terrible. Me and my friends went to the AFC Championship game.
Oh,
Uh,
did you really?
yeah, we did, and I think that was like the most miserable experience in my entire life. It was obviously like really fun. It was obviously like really fun, but like it was like 15 degrees and like there's no heat anywhere. It was terrible.
That's a heck of a game, though, man. That's a
Oh
a
my,
fun
no,
experience.
no, yeah, it was insane. We're really grateful to get a ticket to go.
Ross, you got anything else from Ben?
No, I think it's good to see Ben. Obviously getting extra work in and kind of letting us know about how life's been as a freshman and going through the year. And no, it's been great. I appreciate him joining us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, of course.
Yeah, we're gonna ride you hard here now. The end of the season, we kind of taking it easy on you. We're gonna ride
Uh,
you hard. We'll probably have one of those Zoom meetings with all our BluejayBanter.com members, and
oh yeah,
so they
I
can
mean,
ask you questions.
just let me know whenever. This is
Absolutely,
no issue
you've been
for me.
great. No, you've been great. You've been great.
Yeah,
We gotta hook up for a bite to eat sometime too.
yeah, definitely. Just let me know. We'll figure a place
All right,
out.
man. All right, Ben. Best of luck tomorrow night. Let's go get them.
Yes.
I hope all that work you did
Hmm.
as Richmond pays off.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
It's Ben Schultzberg. I sensed Ben was, yeah, I sensed Ben was a little different today. Like the grind of all this is kind of, especially not being able to play a lot, it's got to be tough.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for a lot of freshmen. I mean, I think we a lot of times anymore you tend to see some of the star freshmen and kind of nationally, but for a vast, vast, vast majority of freshmen, it is not easy and probably plays into, especially when you can transfer with no consequence anymore, the high transfer
Yeah.
rate. But it's a tough deal for for 18-year-old kids, no doubt.
Yeah. And the other thing, when you go to practice too, I'm sure that, they're so used to playing. Okay. And then they kind of get the realization maybe that, they're not going to play a lot. So they go out into a practice situation and they think, okay, there's probably 7, 8 other guys the coaches really have their eye on. But you'll always notice they always point out even the walk-ons. I mean, they get dressed down sometimes. Hey, you
Yeah,
got to be over here on this screen. You
no
can't
doubt.
go over the top. You've got to be here. You've got to set the screen here. I mean, they're really detailed. I think sometimes it takes them back a little bit. Like, whoa, I didn't even think I was being noticed out here.
Right, right, right. Yeah, they see everything. I mean, it's you can't run a successful program without you know being detailed and knowing every single thing about most practices and games and everything. Yeah, you're right though. They see everything and they make sure everybody's doing doing their stuff. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it helps when you got a ton of coaches like we do.
Yep.
Remember the Valley days you had like 3 coaches. Now you got these staffs of like 10 people. It's great.
Yep.
You can each take one player. Let's reset the show a little bit. We want to thank our sponsors, Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, proudly serving Nebraska since 1882. 2 great area locations, one in Elkhorn, one in just north of TD Ameritrade in the Old Mill area. Let them be the bank for you. They are the bank of Bluejay Banter. And then the West Pacific Dental Group, Dr. Robert Hogan and his staff do a marvelous job. So anything you need done with your dental care, check out Dr. Robert Hogan and West Pacific Dental Group. As we mentioned, I better get this cracked open before he gets on here. We're going to have Ryan Baruch of Infusion Brewery join us here in a minute. And big Jays fan, so we're going to be able to talk some Jays with him. And then Also, I want to talk to him a little bit about, they produced those pink cans. I want to see how that went, and I know they had an issue with getting him into the arena and so forth, and what they're going to do with these cans, and are they going to, are they up for sale still, and so on and so forth, and just
Mhm.
all the other things that are going on at Infusion with new products and so forth. And before he comes on, though, Ross, I want to ask you your thoughts on the Nova game.
It was awesome. It was the best. It was the most fun game of the year, I thought. I mean, it was just I thought the energy in the arena was really, really good. It typically always is for Villanova. Yeah, I'm just happy that they kind of gutted it out at the end and made some huge plays defensively to towards the end of the game. Obviously Ryan and I can't remember who knocked it out at the end there.
Trey.
Maybe Art or Trey, yeah. But I just was thrilled to gather with a win. Villanova, I think I said to a buddy who went to Villanova before the game, I said I think this is going to be closer than 10.5 or whatever the line was. I just with more back, they just seemed a little bit more with it, and they were pretty good. It was an interesting play call from Cal Neptune late. I know Dixon had just hit one, and he had been playing really well, but I don't know if Eric Dixon coming off a down screen 1-2 into a 3 is probably the shot you want, but lucky for us, we were able to escape.
Well, a little side note on that play. So in the huddle, they switched and went Kaluma on Dixon on that last play. Murph was telling us about that in the post game, that they decided to go Kaluma on that last play just to mix it up because they thought they would go to Dixon, and they did. And
Wow.
I think Dixon was a little bit surprised, when that screen came, and then he went to get open, and there was Kaluma right there. I think he thought he was going to have a better look, and then he kind of took a runner, which was wasn't even close. So it was great coaching on Creighton staff to do that.
Yeah. It was a great game. Great. I mean, it really was a great back and forth. Villanova is. I mean, gosh, you watch them in person, and they're big and strong. I mean, all of their players are strong kids, and they are really disciplined. And I know they're not the same. They really, really miss Colin Gillespie. I said this before. I didn't anticipate them missing him as much as they have, but I don't know. Tim, I would not be surprised to see Nova, end the year on a nice little run.
Yeah.
To be quite
well,
honest.
Moore had easily his best game since he's been back the other
Right.
night. But you got to hand it to our team. R2 had to guard him a lot. He was trying to post him up, but I thought R2 did a great job. The real key, though, was the job we did on Whitmore. Baylor was on Whitmore for most of the night. We did a tremendous job. He was only 2 for 5 shooting, which that's a big key right there.
And he is, Whitmore, he's one that comes to mind. He's a big kid. I mean, there's a reason he's, in the conversation to be a top 15, top 20 draft pick. I mean, he's got the size, and he's strong. He can shoot it. He's really kind of got that kind of prototype NBA body, So it's going to be interesting to see. I can't imagine he's not going to leave, but he's
everything I've heard, he's one and done. That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Right.
All eyes on UConn tomorrow night. Marquette comes to town. Here's a chance for Marquette to lose one, and it'll be interesting. It'll be. I just cannot. I can't foresee that game not being just down to the wire game. I just think it will be one way or the other.
Yeah, and I quite honestly, I can't. I don't know. I can't really see. I know I've said this before. UConn has struggled way more in conference play than we have anticipated they would, obviously. But I can't see them. Their backs are really up against the wall. I just can't foresee them losing. But Marquette's really good. I've been high on Marquette for a while now. They're really, really good.
Moved into the top 10.
Yeah, they're, and I would argue, quite honestly, I would argue most of those teams in the top 10, they're just as good as. In my opinion, I've watched them quite a bit. I mean, I think they're just as good as anybody else in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, Kolek's just, now that he can shoot, he's become dangerous, man.
Yeah, I saw he was.
He was always known for his passing, but now he can hit that outside shot. It's just.
Yeah. I saw he was a nominee for Bob Cousy Award, which for him is very well. He should be up there. he's a heck of a player. I mean, he's on his way to being first team All Big East. I mean, I think you could probably make an argument. Could be Big East Player of the Year at this point. Couldn't you
If they
say?
win the conference, I think you got a good point. Although, who's their leading scorer? God, why can't I
I
never
would say it's going to come down to him.
Iguodaro?
It might be
No.
either. No, I would say it's going to come down to Kolek and Sule Boom, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who you're talking about, Tim.
Cam Jones?
Yes. Why can't I ever remember his name? It's not like it's,
Well, because there's
Kalkbrenner. It's Jones. It's Cam Jones.
yeah,
Right.
but you got
But,
Cam
here's the
Whitmore,
deal,
you got
though.
Cam Jones.
Yeah, I know. Well, Cam Jones, like, he can look so good. And then there's times where he will take ill-advised shots and look so bad. You know what I mean? Like, I think
Yeah.
when he's at his highest level, man, he really makes that team go. I mean, he really does. And it's a guy they look to. But there are times when he tries to force things a little bit. It'll also be interesting, can Xavier keep rolling without your guy?
Fremantle, yeah. It sounds like he's probably going to be back maybe right before Big East tournament. So, but God, I was expecting them. I mean, they had an unbelievable win against Providence. You know, their first game without him. I was sort of expecting that they would drop that. I think Providence was up early, weren't they? And Xavier came storming back. But I've been really impressed with.
Yeah, that was a pretty nip and tuck game for most
Yeah.
a good chunk of most of the game. Yeah.
I've been really impressed with Sule Boom. I think he's his talent level and his ability as a scorer is really makes that team go. So they maybe they can withstand having Fremantle out for a bit.
Well, he's impressive unless Ryan Nembhard guards him. Then he gets shut down, baby.
Ryan is really sneaky athletic. I mean, Ryan can.
Yeah.
He doesn't really. I was kind of thinking about the differences. I was talking with Matt Dorrit at the game about kind of some of the differences between Nembhard and Marcus Zagrowski. Obviously, Marcus was a fantastic 3-point shooter, and really made teams pay for screwing up. Like, you couldn't go under ball screens on Marcus Zagrowski. You just couldn't. So
No.
now teams go under ball screens all the time on Ryan Nembhard. Ryan's a capable 3-point shooter, but he can't shoot it like Marcus did. But Ryan's a much better athlete than Marcus Zagrowski was. I mean, Marcus wasn't a bad athlete by any stretch, but you can just tell Ryan can jump a little higher. Ryan's a little bit quicker, a little bit faster out in transition. You know what I mean? So it's interesting differences between their games.
I think we have some games, though, some opportunity. We're trying to look to see if we can still win this conference, and of course we've got to get some losses from Xavier and Marquette. Marquette's got a tough road here. They've got Georgetown sandwiched in between, but they've got UConn, Georgetown, and then they go Providence, Creighton, I think. So that's a tough haul. And then Xavier, same kind of deal. They've got Butler on Friday. But then they go Marquette, DePaul, Villanova, Seton Hall, Providence. And those last two are on the road. So could be a difficult situation.
No doubt.
All right, it's time to bring on Ryan Burke. What's your title there, Ryan? Are you what are you, production manager?
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Yeah, production manager, into a little bit of sales, but pretty much getting the beer out the door.
Well, look at this here. Look at this, buddy. I got one cracked open. Some of that
Yeah, I know.
fine product.
I got to catch up to you. I'm drinking our new.
Oh, there we go.
It's a cold IPA, but once I get that one down, I'm right behind you there.
What's the name of the IPA?
It's cold. KOLD. It's a IPA, but lagered with lager yeast, so it's fermented at a colder temperature. It gives it a really nice, crisp finish that a little bit different than the hazies that are out there right now.
Excellent. Let's stick with the beer talk for a little bit, then we'll get to some Jays talk. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
By the way, this is Ryan's production manager at Infusion, a tremendous sponsor for us this year. We're so happy to have them, and we've enjoyed all the product that you gave Ross and I to swig down. I've still got a bunch to go, man. I'm still working on it, so it's great. We
Yeah,
usually
yeah, we
crack one
got
open
plenty more
after
where
every
it comes from.
victory.
I crack them.
Um,
I crack them during the stressful times and the celebratory times during the game too. So
yeah, and they can get, by the way, so they can get the Let It Fly over at the Bud Bar, right? Where they have it
yeah. There's I believe there's 5 locations.
in
Unfortunately,
the
they're all
arena.
on the lower concourse. Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They don't have any stands up in the upper concourse. We'll work on that next year. But yeah, grab and go right there, and those are a good addition, I think, to the arena. But yeah.
Okay. And then you tweeted out a great picture when you were filling the pink cans. You just for folks who don't know, the same design except these were pink. They were awesome looking.
Yeah, they look sharp.
They did, but you were not able to get them into the arena for pink out.
Yeah, unfortunately, with some prior scheduling, I think we just kind of missed our opportunity on that. I think that stuff kind of gets booked up pretty far out in advance.
Right.
So I mean, we were super bummed about it, but we wanted to make the most out of it anyway and still put the cans. And then also, give back to the Hope Lodge as well here in Omaha.
Oh, absolutely. So do you still have some of that product for purchase available still?
Yeah. I know Beertopia and the Crescent Moon. You can either buy that to go from Beertopia, or you can have them while you're having a meal or something at the Crescent Moon as well. And then we have some available still at all 3 locations for infusion.
Yeah, my wife and I went there. Actually, it was the night that Creighton was in the semifinal of the soccer. Okay, of the
Okay.
College
Yep.
Cup. And my wife and I went in there to have dinner. We watched that. We were so impressed with that. The selection of beers there and the Beertopia and the different rooms in the Crescent Moon. It's just really cool. And we're still
Yeah,
going to get down there and do it. We're still going to get down there and do a show sometime. So
heck
we
yeah,
still
man. I
got
mean,
that
we
on
just
our.
celebrated our 27th year anniversary. So that was really
Wow.
big for us. It's kind of been a staple around Omaha for a long time.
I know Ross has been there frequently, right, Ross?
Oh yeah, great spot. Oh yeah.
Great spot, great food, and so check it out, Crescent Moon. What's it on 36th?
Yep, 36th and Farnham, kind of on the entrance to the Blackstone district there. Yeah, right by the
Yes,
Blackstone
exactly,
Hotel.
right on the north side of the street there. So anything new besides that cold? Anything new at Infusion right now?
Cold, that's our newest into package. We do have some draft only options coming out of the tap room that we're pretty excited about. We have a malted milk ball stout, super delicious.
Whoa!
Very easy drinking. Yeah, I know. Catching some eyeballs on that one.
Are you gonna have that on tap at Crescent Moon?
Yeah, we should. He normally takes any of that oddball stuff that we do out of infusion. He'll normally take one on down at the Crescent Moon as well too.
Or you also have it in your shop. What's the address of that? Down by Papillion, right off the interstate there.
Oh, out there on 118th and Harrison, 6271 118th Street. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then all of our other locations as well in Benson and then on 13th Street.
Yeah. I was impressed with that one place down in Harrison. I walked in there and it was just like it reminded me of the little shanty that they have for Leinenkugels at their factory. The same kind of it gave me the same kind of feel. But it was pretty cool. I walked in there Saturday. I thought, I'll just walk right in here and walk. Yeah, the place was packed. It's like 4 in the afternoon. The place was packed.
Yeah, we're lucky. There's a lot of the other breweries are out that location or out that direction, I should say. We have that neighborhood that we're kind of built directly behind, so we get a lot of those regulars there.
All right, Ryan. So, what do you think of Saturday's game?
Oh, it was everything that I anticipated for sure. I went into that not expecting a cover or anything like that on the points. I knew.
We lost Ryan there. We'll get him back. Have you been down to 118th in Harrison, Ross?
I haven't.
I saw another brewery the day I went down there to pick up these beers. I went down there and I saw another brewery and I thought, oh, this must be kind of a cool area, people can kind of go back and forth between the different breweries and taste the different beers. So it's kind of a neat spot down there.
I've
I
never
live
been
about 10 minutes away from that one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Zach?
you kind of have to go through a residential area to get there, and then once you come around the corner, you'll see it's more of an industrial type of area where there's different breweries and stuff.
Right. I've never been a huge like IPA or exotic beer person, so I've never had like the desire to go to like one of these big breweries. Like some of them are fun. I've been to some, but I just whatever reason I'm a Coors Light guy, Bud Light, whatever.
I've been to two. I've been to just because my wife loved the summer shanty that
That's a good beer.
That Line and Cougars used to do, and so we used to take my son when he was younger to Packers training camp, and so we drive right just off the road. We turned off the road. We got to pull in here, and I'll never forget. My wife usually go like these tours. You know, my wife will go through these things, and she'll be like pretty quiet, not say anything.
Yeah.
And the guy started talking about the summer shanty. And he goes, "Is there any questions?" And I went, "This is your worst nightmare, dude. My wife is going to be all over." And she was, dude. She was just like, "I got a question. You know, how come you don't have it year round?" And I got a question. It's just like, oh, God. Let's get to the tasting room, dear. All right, we got Ryan back. All right, buddy. So,
sorry, I lost you there. I think
that's all right, man.
All good.
So we got a big week here. We got two, that could be. I think they're both going to be potential quad one games at Seton Hall, and then UConn at home. How do you see this week going for us?
Yeah, I mean, you can't sleep on Seton Hall. I think their winners are 8-10. So, that's almost one of those trap game situations. I think the guys are going to bring it all for UConn. I think that's a given. But we can't fall into that trap game for sure on Wednesday.
I don't remember, Ross. Maybe you can help me out here. I don't remember Creighton putting out on social media 6 days before a game that it was sold out like they did today with the UConn game. I was like, wow.
Yeah, we're on a good little streak here.
Yeah, really nice streak. It's good for you guys, right? Good for you guys selling beer.
Yeah. I think we've seen the case sales go up a handful there between the last few games.
Yeah. So we got these two big ones, and then what is it? Is it on Valentine's night, Providence? Is it a Tuesday night game?
I think so. Yes. Yes, yeah. You're correct. Yep.
Thank God my wife has to go out of town for work, or I'd be so pissed. She'd be so pissed that we'd have to watch a Creighton game on Valentine's Day. But there we go. I'll be watching it with friends who are single.
Yeah, I mean, to kind of touch back on what I was talking before I got cut off there, though.
Yeah.
Couple games with Marquette and Providence, you kind of just saw Justin Moore and Villanova's lineup inching back kind of to what they could be. I think with him back in the lineup, I think no one wants to run into him in Madison Square Garden for sure either.
Oh, I totally agree.
It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out, because right now you have the top four, then you've got Seton Hall, UConn, and then Villanova. You wonder how that shuffle's going to work, right? And, on the bottom half, I think, Mac is so right. That damn Georgetown team, they're in every damn game. They took UConn down to the wire. I mean, I just think the way Butler's playing, they look like they pretty much packed it in here. I think Georgetown's going to leapfrog them eventually. I still think DePaul, but man, they've disappointed me the last couple games they played. They haven't looked very good, but they got a great start yesterday and then just totally tanked there for about 20 minutes of that game, and they tried to make comeback at the end. But that Wednesday night's going to be really interesting in New York. You know what I mean? Those games could go any way.
Yeah, definitely worth the $10 ticket to go catch those Wednesday games or what. You can get them pretty
$10 ticket.
Yeah.
Good luck with
They're
that.
fun. I've enjoyed
Oh,
going to
yeah,
those in the past.
Yeah, you can get them cheap.
I used to enjoy going to the Valley playing games.
Yeah, Arch Madness.
March Madness rocks. And this year, I was just telling somebody, Russ, I don't know if you know this, if you looked at the standings, there are 8 teams in the Valley within one game of each other.
Oh, wow.
There's 4 teams at 9-4, 4 teams at 8-5. Can you imagine how crazy St. Louis will be that tournament? That tournament's going to be crazy. I mean,
Yeah, I think the
anybody can
Missouri
win it.
Valley's done a good job over the years of kind of losing some of their big guys and replacing with quality
Yeah, I think
programs.
this last move they made, moving Belmont and Murray State, 2 solid programs in that league, that's only going to help them a
Yep.
ton, man.
Totally.
That's really
totally
awesome.
agree.
All right, so what's your prediction for the rest of the year, Ryan?
Oh man, win out. No, I mean I think hopefully we can get out the rest of the way with 1 or 2 losses. I mean ideally going into MSG, and then I still think this team has all the talent to make that deep run that we kind of thought of and dreamt of preseason.
Absolutely, and
I'm with you.
we got a shot at winning the title, man. These other teams got some games to play yet, so
Oh
that's the
yeah,
other
for
thing.
sure.
That's the other thing I mentioned, Seton Hall, by the way. So somebody asked me about them the other day, and I said their next 8 games are an absolute, oh my word. They've built this record on all the bottom feeders. They have got an unbelievably tough schedule coming up. They've got Villanova, Providence, Creighton, Marquette. They've got them all. UConn. I mean, they're going to be playing all the top dogs from here on out, except for one game, I think. So you're going to see what Seton Hall's made of here real quick too. Ryan, keep pumping out this great beer, by the way.
Yeah,
I
we
appreciate
appreciate it, Tim. Yeah.
And we will be hitting that crescent moon. That's why I asked, because this will be a good way for me to get down there if they say, hey, honey, they've got a malted milk chocolate beer down there. And she'll be like, let's go.
Yeah, and for anyone trying to, look for an easy way to get down to the game or catch a bite to eat beforehand, we offer a shuttle to and from the game and from the Crescent Moon every home game as well.
Awesome. That is awesome. That's a great,
A good deal,
it's nice,
no doubt.
Yeah, it's nice to be, fighting that traffic after the game where you can just jump on a bus, get down there, and then you're, free to go or have another drink at the Crescent Moon, whatever.
Yep.
Enjoy some food. Ryan, I really appreciate you coming on.
Pink out cans.
I really appreciate you coming
Tim.
on.
Thank
I appreciate you. I appreciate
Thanks,
you spending time with me at the luggage carousel in Vegas, by the way. That's where Ryan and I actually met,
that was
was
good.
on the luggage carousel in
Good
Vegas.
chatting there for sure.
Love it.
We had a great chat.
The whole trip would have been a little better, but here we are now.
The losses,
Vegas was fun.
Despite the losses, it was fun.
I still have more losses. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
All right. Yeah. Have a good one.
Brian Babert, he's the production guy at Infusion Brewery right here in Omaha. So check him out. Go check out the Crescent Moon. We've got to look into that for the future, probably next year. Crescent Moon would be an outstanding location to do home post games at. Take the bus down there after the game, jump on, have a crowd in front of us. I miss that. I miss having the crowd in front of us. I miss having people just taunt Ross as we're doing the show. Usually your buddies would come down there and sit at a table.
Yeah.
And then they would walk up with questions. They would walk up with questions. Remember that?
Oh yeah. We've had quite a few folks come up and ask us questions there.
Okay, so we were what are your thoughts for Seton Hall? I was pretty impressed listening to Ben that he plays Richmond. And he's right. We did a tremendous job on Richmond the last game. I think it's kind of the one piece to me, Seton Hall. Like, Richmond's not a point guard to me. I don't think he should be playing point. I think he'd be much more effective at a 2 or 3 because he's a big guy.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he doesn't really take, like he said, he likes to get into the lane to score. Even the other day when they were up big on DePaul, he still was reluctant to shoot that shot. And
Which is
I think we
interesting.
kind of matched.
He's only taken 31 of them, but he's a 42% 3-point shooter. I mean, 13 of 31 from three.
Yeah. Yeah. So it kind of surprised me he doesn't take more. But I do kind of like our matchup with them. But they're like day two when they play at home. They're
they're way better at home. I like their roster. Like I like, Dawes is a nice player. Really shoots it. I mean, Dawes is shooting 40%.
Dawes is shooting it really well.
Richmond, Tyrese Samuel's a nice player. Casey Ndefu, the kid that came over from St. Peter's, plays bigger than 6'7", blocks a lot of shots. I mean, they've got some guys that can do some things. So it's not going to be an easy just stroll into Newark and walk out with the win.
We're going to have to play well. I just like the way we match up with them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then UConn. I mean, I don't know. That game scares me a lot Saturday. Because they haven't played well lately.
I'll be honest, I'm actually less worried about that game than I am about Seton Hall.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Why so?
I don't know. I just UConn, for some reason, they just don't instill fear in me as much as a couple of others. And I say that, and I don't want to jinx anything. And I just feel like we've been really, really good at home too. So
yeah, we have been. We have been.
We'll see.
So then we tail Providence on the back end of that. So these next three, I think you'd probably say you're okay with 2-1.
Totally.
Yeah. I gotta ask you a question.
There's 8 games left. I think if we go 6-2, we're gonna have a shot to win the league.
At least tie. It'd probably be a tie. It'd be tough to win it outright at 2 more losses. By the way, Miami's up 40-26 on Duke. Oof.
Yeah, Duke is a weird team.
Still missing a dude though. Hey, I gotta ask you. Maybe you don't know this question, but I know this came up. Maybe Zach, you can chime in here too. I know this came up several seasons ago. It might have been way back when we were in the Valley, quite frankly.
Okay.
They got on somebody, and I think maybe it was Drake. I don't know. But they got on somebody's PA guy about leading cheers and getting the crowd pumped up and so forth. And I remember him getting they got their hand slapped big time by the league saying, you can't do that.
Babe, who?
Now, maybe the Big East doesn't have that rule. I thought it was kind of universal because you don't see it happen much. But Jake Ryan's been really pumping up the crowd lately. He tried to do it again did it a couple times.
Yeah. I remember.
I remember that as well. Yeah.
Funny.
I don't remember who it was.
Make noise at the free throw line.
Yes. There was somebody complained, and then Doug Elgin said, all right, we got to put an end to this. And they slapped Drake. I think it was Drake. I really do. I don't think it was anybody in the Big East. I think it was back in the Drake days. But I think they really slapped Drake down and said, you can't do that, man. And when Jake did that the other day, I'm like, is there some sort of rule against that? Is there?
Yeah, I don't know.
It
was funny though.
Yeah, they're making noise at the free throw line. I mean, so I'm watching. I was on. I'm on Sharp and Hanley in the morning, doing my bracketology every Monday morning, and I was on. And we were talking a little bit about Wisconsin. I was watching a Wisconsin game yesterday. I was stunned how quiet the Kohl Center was. You could hear a pin drop in there. Like their crowd was. Everybody complains about Creighton crowd. Their crowd wasn't into it at all. Mm-hmm. And it was a tight 2-point game. I mean, now it was a rock fight, so it's kind of hard to get, when you're throwing up bricks and grinding the clock down to, 28 seconds every time. But I was stunned at that. The other game, too, when I watched, I'm sure maybe it was just the audio, but the Nebraska crowd wasn't really, for the fact that they were, pulling a big upset. I didn't think that arena was all that loud until the end. So,
I thought it wasn't bad there. I mean, I feel like, quite frankly,
Usually is. It's usually a
the
good
crowds
crowd
that
there.
PBA gets when they're bad are better than we would get if we were that bad. I'm dead serious too.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think that has something to do with the arena because I remember when they were bad at the Vandy, they weren't drawn at all. So
Yeah.
I think the arena has something, and the fact that it's in a nice location there in the Haymarket, and everything. I did watch I had an interview last night with Josh Newman, who's the beat writer at Utah, because he wanted to talk about any potential chances that Utah could possibly get in. So I was kind of watching their game. There was literally 30 people at that game. I mean, and I'm like, Josh, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, he goes, Sundays here are horrible because typically the section of Utah fans who are Mormon, like they're not even supposed to go to a basketball, like they're not even supposed to go to a sporting event. Number
Oh
one.
wow. Yeah.
He goes, number two, Sundays are bad here anyway, because if you throw out that portion, everybody goes skiing on Sunday. So he goes, there's that. And then he goes, thirdly, it was snowing out, so the roads weren't the greatest. But literally, I was like, wow, I remember back in the Majerus days, there wasn't an empty seat in those whole places. Now, granted, they were a top 10 team with Van Horn and guys like that. But, Utah's actually got a nice, when you watch them, they got a nice team. That center's, he's going to be drafted in the NBA. He's 7 foot, can shoot, he can move. I mean, he's going to be.
I haven't watched them much. I know he's a good player, but I have not watched them much.
Yeah, that's only like the second time I've seen him this year. It just stunned me because I've been in that arena way back in the day. I'll tell you how long ago it was. Gary Payton was playing with Oregon State in an NCAA tournament game there, and I watched him. They got upset by somebody, and I was there for another NCAA tournament. Great arena, not a bad seat in the house, but it's just outdated. Like they don't have any suites or anything, and it just lost its luster. But enough about arenas. But at any rate, yeah, I thought the crowd was good Saturday. I think everybody's into it.
I did find
Saturday
something
night
interesting out. What I was looking to see which team it was that got their hands slapped for encouraging the cheering when I saw that Io Akinwole from Omaha is a graduate assistant at Drake now after he finished up his career there. So DeVries brought him on as a graduate assistant.
Oh, really?
Kid from Papio.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, I just wonder, just seemed odd to me because you don't see it anywhere else in the country that the PA guy gets involved.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting. One last thing. So I would just want to mention, go to bluejaybanter.com for all your recruiting coverage. Trention Flowers got ill, was in the hospital. Come down with like a virus or something, and they're giving him some meds, so he's kind of resting up. Man, a lot of positive pointing in his direction coming to Creighton. He had a great time here. He made the comment that kind of, I don't know what exact term
that kind of sealed the deal for me, I think.
Sealed the deal was the term he used, which was like, whoa.
There's a couple ways you can take that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
Yeah, I guess, but I think it was a positive way.
I think some people meant it as, or some people thought of it as, oh, he's committing here. But I was like, I think he probably means that he made the right choice putting us in his top 5 from his position.
Yeah, could be
top 6.
Our fine recruiting coordinator at bluejaybanter.com, Jeremy Howard, has got real good relationship with the family, so he gets a lot of info from them, and they were just in love with everything that happened in Omaha. They are going to Arkansas, so people are kind of worried about that. And, Arkansas's got a pretty big NIL thing going on. So
yeah,
little coach though.
That probably not as big as the teams that Boeheim thinks have big NIL things. Apparently, he's not very happy with that. Then today had to come out and apologize and say he didn't meant what he said.
Retraction.
And, you clearly meant what you said at the time.
He's a clown.
He is absolutely a clown. Did you see him berate that student news reporter? Yeah. I mean, it'd be like if Arthur Koluma wasn't on the bench for a game. Well, what's the first question you're going to ask him? Coach, where was Arthur tonight? And he gets all upset about it. Like,
it's craziness.
Yeah. All right. So, anyway, Wednesday night, Ross won't be here, but Zach and I will be. Instant reaction show right after the Seton Hall game. So we'll we'll be excited to hopefully break down another Jays win.
I do have one quick
Thanks,
thing
Ross.
I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you guys were both at the game, the Villanova game, right?
Yes.
I was at home watching the broadcast. Jim Jackson said he had 6 Big East teams going to the NCAA tournament, and the 6th one was Villanova.
Hey, he's nuts.
Yeah, on an at-large bid. He was like, "Well, if they keep
They're
playing
like 9
like
and
this,
11.
they've lost 14 games. They've lost 14 games now.
14 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. No way possible. I do want to mention one thing, though. Bourbon and Blue Jays on the 22nd. It's at Copacabana out on Center, like 180th and Center out there. More information coming here in our next few shows. We're kind of helping sponsor that. It's the West Omaha Chamber of Commerce. They're raising money for all the projects they do. We'll be doing a live show down there. That's on Wednesday, the 22nd. The event runs about like 4 till 6 or 7. We'll be probably going on the air about 5:36. So it won't be a live show. We'll be taping it, and then we'll be putting it on our YouTube channel. So we're going to have some Creighton coaches down there and a lot of Jays fans. So make sure if you can, just Google West Chamber of Commerce. They've got it on their website about Bourbon and Blue Jays event. We'll be talking more about it here coming up. Thanks, Ross. Thanks, Zach.
Yep.
Let's enjoy this big Kansas-Texas game tonight, huh?